So some of the questions we've got as we move through this process, obviously the taxpayers' money is to be spent fiscally responsible. So there are other stations that have been built recently in the area that have cost less money to build. So why is that? Well, first and foremost, it's nearly impossible to compare the designs and costs. I mean, each community is different, each fire department's different, their needs are specific to them, their growth, whether they have one station, multiple stations, where their location is, what the topography was. So there's a lot of decisions to go into it, so that you really can't compare the Northborough Fire Station with other projects. But as our union president said in one of his presentations, is what's in this station is no different than what is being put into other stations being built. If it's outside Massachusetts, if you compare to an outside of Massachusetts project, they're not bound by the prevailing wage laws of Massachusetts, which dramatically increases the cost of any municipal project in Massachusetts. And that's discussed in further detail in another video. Buildings that were completed recently were probably priced out at least 2 years ago. And in that past 2 years plus, inflation and the cost of construction have increased dramatically. So it's hard to compare when the prices were different then. And then anything that was completed now definitely was permitted before July 1st of 2024. So anything after that date has to meet the costly requirements of the new Massachusetts Energy Code. That's discussed a little bit more in other videos, but their requirements each building must have per the state law. But some projects that can be compared, that are recently permitted or passed their town meetings, there's two of them. This one is Charlton, Mass. So this project is their new Station 2. So this is in addition to their headquarters. And this station's designed to have 2 firefighters at the current time, but giving themselves room to expand. The size here is 1,300 square feet. Again, it's a substation. Now the cost per foot is $1,300. Our current price is a little over $1,000. One thing to note is as a project gets smaller, the cost per square foot increases, and that's because the amount of money that they're going to make as a builder gets less as the building gets smaller. The total cost for this was projected to be $17.4 million. It was the analysis into it to move the project first started in July of 22, and it passed their town meeting in May of 24. The next one is Westwood, Mass. This project is to renovate and expand one of their stations. So this is Station 1 headquarters. Again, they have another substation, so they have 2 stations. Again, Northborough, we only have 1. What they're doing here is the size of the project is an increase of 38,000 square feet. So if you look at this image, the existing station is this inner square, this outer area is the overall expansion. The cost per square foot is a little over $1,000. Comparable to the Northborough project because the square footage is comparable to the Northborough project. The total cost of this station is $37 to $41 million, comparable to where we are. I believe that they were permitted before July 1st, so they won't have to deal with the energy code, which is where the extra money came in. We also have a topography of the wall. They were first analysis in June of 23 and passed town meeting in January of 24. The important thing to note on this station, because it's a renovation, is there's also cost involved with building a temporary facility, office trailers, for the firefighters and the fire operations to work out of while this building's being renovated. And they also have to build a temporary garage to keep all the fire apparatus, because again, this building will be under construction. So that's an additional cost and logistical items that that project has to contend with. So those are an idea of a synopsis of why different buildings cost different prices and a comparative of 2 projects that are ongoing in Massachusetts.